just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
You unlock this door with a key of imagination. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of light, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadows and substances, of things and ideas. No, this is not the Twilight Zone. This is. What it do, family? It's your boy TW, back at it again with another one. And yes, we are most definitely uncensored. We got some things going on. Talk to me nicely. Best believe I talk back. Because it's like I always say, wouldn't be news and or content if we ain't had some things going on. Now, would it be? Listen, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, most importantly, subscribe. Oh man, family. When I say things are just gotten real. Mm, mm, mm. But I ain't gonna do too much talking. I'm gonna let the story do itself. Let's get to these reactions, shall we? Yes, we shall. Let's continue. Well, family, as you can see in today's reaction, we got no other than who? Oshay Duke Jackson. Might I call him Oshay Simp Jackson? And you might be saying, well, TW, what's going on with Oshay Duke Jackson? Why is he up on deck yet again? Well, family, it would seem Oshay has this thing where he's been calling people out on a rant as of lately, giving it to them, letting them know exactly what he thinks about how they carry themselves, more so on the internet, in a rhetoric that they do use, except for one particular person. And you guessed it, family. And you know what I might say? I'm starting to believe Anton is now the puppet master. I said it, family, and I'm not taking it back. I believe Anton is the puppet master. And yes, but of course I'm going to explain why I would believe Anton is the puppet master. Because it was seen, no matter what he does, he's the only man who does not get called out. And even more so, he's the only man who does not get called out by who? Oshay Simp Jackson, family. Oh, yeah. You better believe it. And don't get me wrong, family. We both know when he does say, because, people have been taking shots at Oshay. Like, dude, why you don't call out Anton the way you call out everybody else? Anton is getting a free pass. I mean, we got to think. If they work together or they got some business on a down low going on, he couldn't say that. It still would be kind of hypocritical that you will make videos of Myron Gaines, Candace Owens, even more so, Brandon Tatum, who you openly admitted to having a friendship with. Well, let me rephrase that, family. He didn't say friendship, but they were cordial. They spoke on the phone, just like him and Anton. But yet and still, he cuts Brandon Tatum no slack, family. You have to wonder why that is. So, actually speaking, I asked the question. Oh, yeah, you better believe I did. Why wouldn't I ask the question? Everybody wants to know, but nobody really wants to step forward and figure out and or ask why he does what he does. So you know what I did, family? I left good old Oshay Simp Jackson, the panderer, a message. You want to see that message? Oh, of course I'm going to show you the message. Why wouldn't I? Let's get right to it, shall we? Now, family. Like I said, I did make a post, rather a comment, under you know who's the simp himself's video. The latest, well, not the latest, because the latest is even cornier because he's talking about somebody else. It just doesn't even make no sense. But as I was saying, as you can see, I made a reply and I got two replies. Remember these names because these names right here gets very, very interesting. Mr. Black Bolt 1 and Joshua, period. Bellinger. Okay, now, family, I'm going to explain to you why this is very, very interesting. You ready? Here we go. Now, you got to forgive me because I wanted you the whole message so you will see that I'm not, how you could say, clipping the message and, funny business that people like to do. No, we don't do that over here. We keep it 100% real. Now, remember I said you that name right there? Joshua Bellinger, right? Now, I said to good old Oshay Simp Jackson, the panderer himself, when he made his video, I said, you stay glazing Anton. It's crazy how you got all that smoke for everyone and just about everything, but not him. Together, just say that because this low ball fake insults that you are actually kind words for Anton videos, my boy, ain't hitting. Okay, now remember Joshua Bellinger. This is under good old Oshay Simp Jackson, the panderer's video. Now he replies at TW Uncensored. You are asking as if you know for a fact the things he says he does. Question. What? What do you mean? What does my question to good old Oshay Simp Jackson, the panderer, have to do with anything that question just said? Nothing. He continues until we shouldn't all what? Until we shouldn't all whatever. We all, I guess that's what he meant, shouldn't have to go off is his words unless someone is willing to do the research behind what he says, which you're not. Anyone else is put the effort in to do. So talking his words is all you have unless you have some free time. Well, what do you mean by that, Joshua Bellinger? If I have some free time, I have free time all the time. I work for myself, sir. Don't you get it yet? This is not a joke. But anyway, let's not lose track. That was good old Joshua's first reply. Now, I'm not going to tell you what I said to him because basically I said to him what I'm saying to you now. You don't make no sense. What are you talking about? What are you playing word semantics with me? That doesn't work over here. Why don't you tell your boy, good old Oshay Simp Jackson, the panderer, to answer the question? But you know what happens, family? I'm going to tell you. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you what happened. This is what happens. Your boy, Joshua Bellinger, decides to write back. And he says, at TW Reactions Podcast, I'm not saying what you are saying and or believe I go. What? What? Dude, you need to know how to write because this right here, my guy, this makes me think you're not even smarter than a fifth grader. You see what I'm saying? Like this is just crazy. Anyway, let's continue. Well, let me try to continue to read this nonsense. Believe I must admit I'm going by what's best being posted. So, did you do your research and have definite proof he isn't the person he's claiming to be? What person did I claim him to be, sir? I didn't claim Anton to be anybody. The question was, why is he glazing Anton, but going so hard, no freaky, on everybody else? That was the question. But see, when you ask a simple question, you can't get a direct answer. People just nowadays, but it doesn't stop there. This one right here was absolutely diabolical because he didn't like what I said to the other guy. Because I did make a reply, of course. He replied twice. I replied twice. Why wouldn't I? You crazy? I told you, talk to me nicely. Best believe I talk back. I meant that. Anyway, let's continue. Well, this one right here, I had to get the whole. I'm gonna have to, squint my eyes. Bear with me. If I stumble a little bit, it's not my fault. It's really, as you can see, tiny, no freaky. But let's continue and see what Mr. Bolt One had to say, shall we? Yes, we shall. At TW Uncensored Reaction Podcast, you are showing that diabolical is a state of mind you operate from. My comment was a simple deduction of immorality. Ooh, well, at least I can say this about Mr. Bolt. He can definitely write better than the first Joker. Let's continue. Jealousy is one of the 7 deadly sins. You are jealous of Anton because he is a rich and powerful black parentheses person and you are not. What? What? First and foremost, as you can see, I'm being really attacked, and all I did was ask a simple question. Why are you not making real content about the things Anton says that are detrimental to the black community like you do with everybody else? And you see what I got to deal with here, people? Tis, tis, tis. Let's continue. Despite he does not expose the you see what he just said? He just messed up because it's supposed to be. Anyway, let's continue. Expose the black. I don't know what the hell does that say. Blackety black rhetoric. What do you mean blackety? He doesn't what? Blackety black rhetoric. What the hell? What are you talking about here, Mr. Bolt One? Anyway, while you do, I talk about blackety black rhetoric because you sound like an idiot. Blackety black rhetoric. What are you even talking about? Anyway, his being significant while you are unsubstantial cuts deeply. It does? In whose eyes? Maybe in yours because you wrote it. I particularly don't give a damn. So it doesn't cut me deeply in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Anyway, Anton's success means you are wrong in so many ways. You can accept that. LOL. Welcome to the world of the real. Really? Really, Mr. Bolt? I'm jealous of Anton. You hear this, family? Family. I'm jealous of Anton because I asked the man why he doesn't make real rhetoric the same way he does. Why you don't have the same smoke. And it's wrong. You're being hypocritical. You don't get that though. But see, you know what I do notice though, family? About these comments? You might not notice, but I know people make dummy accounts and they will come at you pretending they're not even the person who it is. I wouldn't be surprised if these two idiots were the two people who I'm in fact talking about. You want me to say something though, family? I don't care. You know why? You didn't answer my question. Oshay, Simp, Jackson, you're still pandering. And I'm going to explain why he's still pandering. But first, I got to show you something. Family, I wasn't the only one that felt that. Oh, no. You think I'm joking? I've got something for you. I got the bad comments, but I got some good ones. Check it out. Now, family, as you can see, this ain't a cut. 23 replies still, you glazing. But check out what Mr. 13 Algernon says. TW Uncensored Reaction. Crazy how you asked a simple question and got no answer. Oh, my Lancer. Is he right or is he right? That's That was my point of view. Simple question, couldn't even got a simple answer. But was he the only one? Absolutely not. At who? This is Mr. Yazoo Guy, B452. Check out what he said. Glad I'm not the only one that noticed what Oshay is doing here. Anton has been in the wrong multiple times over these last couple months, and every time he walks on eggshells for him. Like, bro, either speak the real on him or don't speak on him at all. Because now you just using his sorry name for clicks and engagement.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Now, family, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. You actually see what people have to say. But let's get to the rhetoric like I was saying. Why he's still dancing on eggshells? Shall we? Yes, we shall. Let's continue.
Disagreements or beefs can happen anywhere. It's a part of life. Literally, you have somebody in your family or at your job that you don't like, and sometimes you just stay away from that person. Some beefs last a lifetime, and it's not just in real life. It's on the internet, and sometimes even YouTube beefs can result in... Rewind! One of the most polarizing people on the black internet is Charleston White, and it's because he does a lot of disrespect.
First off, family, do you even hear the way he's commentating? Do you hear the tone of his voice while he's delivering his rhetoric? And to I mean who? I mean, of course, Oshay, Simp Jackson, the panderer himself. He doesn't even sound like he wants to make this video, family. It seems like it's just killing his soul so much to make this video right here, right now that he's making. About who? The puppet master himself, Anton Daniels. But I'm not going to do too much talking. I'm going to get to this rhetoric, and then I'm going to explain some more. Let's continue, shall we? Yes, we shall. Let's go.
Cool stuff. Not only does he disrespect old civil rights leaders, he disrespects dead rappers and alive rappers. He'll say anything for views, and because of that, many people want to collaborate with him. And if you bring him onto your platform, you're going to get a lot of views and ultimately make a lot of money. Just taking segments of Charleston White's podcast and putting it on YouTube Shorts or on TikTok can drive a whole new fan base to your audience. And there's another person who understands that controversy sells. And his name is Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is polarizing, not as much as Charleston White, but he is. But he did understand that working with Charleston White would not only create a...
Hold on. Family, he just called Anton Daniels polarizing. He called them polarizing, family. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, Oshay, you better believe we are definitely here for everything and anything you have to say. You know why? We're here for the content. Let's continue, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Podcast, but it would also be a revenue earning potential for himself. And Anton Daniels and Charleston White have collaborated for a long time. But on one particular podcast, Charleston White took a shot at another popular influencer, Tony the Closer. Tony the Closer is a financial or real estate influencer. He's really big on YouTube and also pretty big on social media as a whole. And he makes a lot of his money through, I think, like choruses.
Real quick, fam. Pay attention to the plot here. Let's see how smart you are out there as the viewers to see what's really transpiring. But don't worry. You know your boy TW gotcha at the end to tell you what's really going on. Because some of you, it just might not be catching on. But it's okay. I got you. Let's continue.
And also how to do real estate as a business. But Tony the Closer also makes, just normal content, and he's pretty known amongst other influencers. And at this particular time, there was a beef between Charleston White and Tasha K. And well, this is what happened.
I asked Tasha K what was her stance on Charleston White. What was her opinion on Charleston White? And the crazy part is, before I even did the interview with Tasha, I had reached out to Charleston, told her, I said, yo, I'm about to do an interview with Tasha K. I know y'all got different stances. I said, I'm going to try to set it up and organize it to where both of y'all can get y'all shit off, and then I bring y'all on the platform and y'all do like a mutual debate, and I sit in the middle of that shit. So he was like, all right, I'll be there Tuesday. And then he called me. He was like, hey, somebody got an interview for me. They gonna pay me. So, I'm gonna go there and do that. I said, all right, we'll go do your interview, my it's cool. So we do me and Tasha do the interview. Tasha asked me, what does Charleston White do? I said, he says he's a community activist. I said, I hadn't done my research. Which I hadn't. I hadn't done any research to see Charleston's background as far as his activism or whatever. I seen him post some, clips talking about some money that he's giving to people, but I've never actually seen it myself. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just stay out of that. I'm not gonna co-sign saying some shit that I don't know.
So that's just only a part of it. But let me give some clarity or even a wider context to why Tony Closer was feeling this way.
He came to Miami for Rolling Loud, and when he came to Rolling Loud, he ended up running into Soulja Boy. And for whatever reason, got into it. He met Soulja Boy, and I knew was out here stranded. I knew he was out here like he was in the fucked up spot. So I said, hey, yo. I said, I know you out here in Miami, you jammed up. If you need a strap, I got you. So I pull up on him, get a strap. The is, showing appreciation. I was like, yeah, we came over to the crib, grab some food and shit.
So Tony the Closer lives in Miami, and Charleston White happened to be in Miami at this time. And he got into it with Soulja Boy, and I believe he pepper sprayed somebody in Soulja Boy's clique or Soulja Boy himself. And what Tony the Closer did, according to him, he brought him and in fact, Tony the Closer and Charleston White did podcasts together. And as it seems, after the podcast, Tony the Closer also had a relationship with Tasha K, which ultimately went sour. And what Tony the Closer was trying to do was to get Tasha K and Charleston White onto his platform. But from what it seems, Tony the Closer was not trying to pay Charleston White or wasn't paying him. And so Charleston White either skipped out on the podcast saying, yeah, somebody else was going to pay. And then ultimately, well, the question was asked by Tasha K.
Family, you're paying attention? I hope you're paying really close attention. I'm not doing too much commentating over this right now, and I'm letting them speak for a reason. I want you to peep the storyline, family. Peep the storyline. That's the only reason why I'm not talking right this moment. Let them keep talking. Let's continue. Pay attention.
What does Charleston White do? And Tony the Closer didn't answer the question correctly according to Charleston White, because what Tony the closer said, hey, listen, I really don't know what he does in the community. I haven't really researched him. And then that is where the beef starts. And then Charleston White really disrespected Tony the closer. And that's how we got to the situation.
Hey, look, bro, dude, all I said is, I don't know. I hadn't done the research on that. This get online and make a video. Oh, I'm disappointed in my Tony the closer, man. I'm disappointed in my this been around me and this, that, and the third. And he talking about he don't know if I'm an activist and this, that, and the third. And then they go from that to he make another video. No, see, this ass nigga ride my this saying this beat bitches. And I'm like, hold on, see, what the fuck? So your nigga go run his motherfucking mouth, and then when I say something, you want to be sensitive. No, bro, I ain't get that nigga nothing but real love. You came around me, I'm a real nigga, bro. I don't do no fake shit for no internet. I've been popping before I ever got on the internet.
So this is Tony the closer, on Anthony Dewberry's platform, which is a good friend of Charleston White, and Dewberry met Tony the closer. And so what Tony the closer is saying, listen, this guy is tripping because Tasha K asked me about him, and I'm saying, hey, I don't really know his backstory or what he does in the community. And Charleston White feels slighted. Charleston White is saying, well, you hung out with me, you know me, and all this stuff. And so the level of disrespect.
You're paying attention to the storyline, family? Pay attention closely to the storyline, family. And pardon me if it's a little laggy, the video, but don't worry. Let's continue with the story.
Charleston started giving Tony the closer he felt was not justified. Fast forward. Now that's the backstory. Let's get back to where Anton Daniels fits into this. So basically, Anton Daniels has the podcast. Charleston White is on the podcast, right? And so at the end of the podcast, Charleston White disses Tony the closer. Now, once that happens, Tony the closer and Anton Daniels start beefing. It was a big beef online. Anton was saying he got more money than him and all of this stuff, and kind of everything kind of went crazy, right? But this is what Anton Daniels is going to say to explain it.
The one thing that I always do with every single person that I interview, especially with Charleston, is the first thing that I say is, hey fam, you sure that you want to keep that in there? You sure you standing on that? And that's what the whole stand on it is. After the interview, I ask the same thing. Hey fam, you sure that's what you want to do? Like, you don't think that we should edit that part out, and you don't think we should cut out the... No.
Oh, really? So it's Charleston's fault that you put the video out? Really? Okay. Is y'all paying attention? All right. I hope y'all...
Oh, man, drop that shit. I stand on it.
Let's continue.
Drop that shit. I stand on it. I said, okay.
So Anton Daniels is saying, listen, Charleston, do you want to put this up? And, hey, Anton allows him to put up the clip that's disrespecting Tony the closer. So, of course, Tony the closer is feeling slighted. He's going to be like, well, listen, I'm not going to just go after Charleston. I'm going to go after the guy who put it up. Now, let me.
Really? That's what we doing now? Oshay? Simp? Jackson? Did you hear what he just said? Anton allowed Charleston to put the video up. What do you mean he allowed Charleston to put the video up? No, Anton put the video up. Do not play. You see, people, this is why you got to pay attention. The word semantics that they're using against you. But don't worry. Good old TW Uncensored. I got you. We here for it. Let's continue with this shit. Yeah, boy.
Say this. It's very similar to what happened with Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams, right? Shannon Sharp allowed Cat Williams to say certain things about Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley, guys who have been on this show previously. Shannon Sharp says, well, listen, I just put it up there. He said it, but I just put it up there. But Steve Harvey, they're upset. They're like, listen, man, we're supposed to be your friends, and you let this guy just slander my name. Now, I don't know if Tony the Closer and Anton Daniels had any prior relationship, but the way that Tony the Closer is taking it is, listen, whether I'm your friend or not, you let this dude come onto your podcast and you let him slander me, and that shouldn't have happened. If me and him have an issue, but for you to let him slander me on your podcast, now me and you got beef, and then it escalated. But then Anton Daniels adds something else to the game.
Whatever. And so me and Tony going back and forth over some shit that I don't even have no involvement in as far as my real experience of going back and forth with Tony. Now, Tony is pissed.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? See, this is the problem right here. He just said, and Oshay just played the clip of him saying he don't have what you think is not your fault. So it's not your fault that Tony's mad at you. This is the nonsense that I'm talking about, people. Right here, Oshay is pandering. Why? Why, Oshay, do you keep doing this? It is his fault. What do you mean? It's his site. It's his channel. It's his page. It's his podcast. There's no accountability with you, Oshay. Simp Jackson, the panderer, in which I'm talking about. For this man right here. Like, what is up with you? You see what you're failing to realize, Oshay? The same conservative people you talk about that be bootlicking to the white people and make the nonsense about black people for the white people. That's what you are becoming, my friend. You just don't see it. You just don't see it. You are becoming the bootlicker in what you do not like. Right in front of our very eyes.
Neanderthal caveman.
Black person bad, white person.
I'm telling you, family, he doesn't get the same concept. He doesn't understand the same train of thinking because he has yet to reverse the role. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get him to understand by reversing the role. The same thing Tatum does, the same thing Myron Gaines does. This man, Anton, the puppet master Daniels, does. Just because he makes his own way of living, he doesn't get paid. So he says, no, I'm not Inspector Cujo, nor am I Columbo. I'm not digging into his finances to find out. You know why? I don't care that much about him to do that. I leave that to the other people out there. Like Mr. Bolt, the guy that asked me, did I go find? What do I need to find out? figure out the analytical point. Oshay, Simp Jackson, has now become the same thing he hates. A bootlicking panderer. What do you think? Because he's a black man? You can't fit the same concept together? Well, of course you can. Anton, the puppet master, being black, does not take away the fact he disrespects, disregards, humiliates, and downright disgustingly talks about black people. Just because he's self-made, that doesn't make him exempt. That makes him the puppet master. Oshay, Simp Jackson, don't you get it? He has now become like Lucius Granger from the record label, the owner, the distributor of the shenanigans. Tis. But we're going to let it continue, though. Yes, we shall. We're here for the content.
And I'm standing on it with my guy, but I'm like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can do this. Like, we can money fight and all of that. Tony, like, yeah, I heard you in Miami, pull up and all of that shit. So I'm in different cities with my family and shit. I gotta hire people that rock with me or extra security and shit like that just because I'm standing on business when it comes to my guy. So it's a lot of different situations when it comes to this content shit that is spilled over into real life.
Now, Anton Daniels.
Real quick, family, you hear him? He got to hire security. He's standing on business for his guy. No, you don't. You have to hire security, sir, because you put out content that somebody didn't like because it was about them. And you purposely did it. Don't matter if you asked Charleston, you show you, none of that matters. It's your channel. So now you have intertwined yourself, of course, into the shenanigans. We're not letting them get away. You see, Oshay, Simp Jackson, the pandering bootlicker, of course he's going to let him get away with it. And not us, though, family. Not on the Newsy Gang team. No, we don't play that over here. Let's continue, though. This is getting good. And
says because of the threats that he received from Tony the Closer and other people, he had to hire security. But then Charleston White apparently came out and said this.
Started fucking with Tony the Closer because you saw it was getting you views. Don't try to make it like you needed security for me. You started messing with Tony the Closer, talking about big bank, take little bank. So you did that on your own because I don't never need nobody to help defend me.
Now, Charleston White is at this particular time saying, hey, man, you're.
And that family, that is 100% fact. I'm glad he said that. Because you know what?
What is the five fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
Right there, family, is why I respect Charleston White. You don't use my name to say you had to get security. No, ain't nobody tell you had to put that video out. You wanted to take Big Bank and Little Bank and be the man, right? Okay, hold it down when a smoke come your way, brother. Let's continue with this.
You know, you did all of that. I didn't tell you to do this and that. So now why am I mentioning this? Well, Tony the Closer recently put this up on his Instagram, right? And I wasn't looking to do a video on this, but Tony the Closer put it up. Somebody alerted me to it. And what did Tony the Closer say? Tony the Closer says this: writing checks your ass can't cash, and it's still on site. Now, people started weighing in on the comments of this. Somebody says, so you should have stayed out of what you didn't know nothing about. Somebody says this. Why he's scared now? They be playing tough until somebody check their temperature in real life. Somebody criticizes Tony the Closer, says, I pray you find some peace, bro, because you stay beefing with somebody different every day. That got to be draining to the spirit. I'm not even trying to be funny or troll. This person says, I hope these two successful black men can figure it out. Both of these guys is an asset for the black culture. Then one dude even took Anton's side for real, and he said, LOL, you cooked if you come to Detroit. Ain't for no games. Now, ultimately, what can I infer about this? So one thing is this, and this is what I've learned being in this content creation business. If I'm going to interview somebody, I need to stick to the point of what the person is talking about, because what tends to happen is if you bring on somebody and that person's controversial or highly polarizing, that person is going to mention somebody and talk about that other person and say something bad about that other person. And while you're on the platform just hosting the person, you're not agreeing with the person or talking about the person. But because you allowed that person to come onto your platform, they're going to blame you, and they're going to blame you and say, hey, you let this person, slander me, and your platform is big. And so what typically happens, whenever Anton Daniels and Charleston White do a show, it gets like hundreds of thousands of views. So to, Tony the Closer would feel, slighted by that. And then all of a sudden now Charleston White is saying, look, Anton, this is your problem. You're throwing me in this, which really means that at the time that Charleston said that, he wasn't really being loyal to Anton Daniels. And that's kind of really how this business is. A lot of content creators are not necessarily loyal to each other. And that's what you kind of figure out in this content business as you are, kind of just, collaborating and working with people. It's kind of what happens, right? And then somebody can put you into a beef with something that really you didn't have anything to do. You kind of stick up for somebody else and they don't really stick up for you. And then that person is just going on. And again, even being associated with somebody like Charleston White is just dangerous. Tony the Closer said that he was hanging out with Charleston White in Houston, and somebody pressed him basically just because he was with Charleston White. And that could turn deadly. A lot of things with YouTube, it's not like it was back in the day. 10 years ago, YouTubers could beef or whatever, but it would never turn physical. It never turn.
Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention closely to the narrative here? Listen to what he said, family. Charleston White ain't being loyal to the puppet master. They get thousands of views when they just pay attention to the rhetoric, family. You can't make this shit up. I'm sorry. Nah, you can't make this shit up. Let's continue though. This is getting even diabolical.
Violent. Wow. You kind of do whatever you need to do online. That's where it went. But now, because you have almost everybody on YouTube now, the celebrities on YouTube, the podcast guys are on YouTube. So the more that your people are just saying whatever the hell they're saying, it's way more dangerous now. So, people can say whatever they want to say. YouTube is starting to become more like hip hop. You got people really, really beefing on here because YouTube is such a powerful site, and there's so much money out here in the game, and that's kind of where it's happening. That's kind of where it's going. So yeah, if you're not careful, you can get yourself involved into something that you really wasn't trying to get involved in, and they can just go down like that for no absolute damn reason. So my thing is this, for anybody in real life or whatever, if you allow somebody to say something about somebody else, that person is going to look at you as you're the reason why it happened. Even if you go through the protocols, it's like, look, you sure you want to keep this in here? It could be a personal thing. If somebody find out that you said something and you didn't back them up, it is what it is. And you can get involved in the smoke too. So that is typically what's happening. I don't really think that, Tony the Closer will try to fight Anton Daniels. I mean, anything is possible. I don't think that it's wise to try to do that. But hey, he said if it's on site when he see him, it's on site. So I'm not sure. But guys, what do you think? Is this?
Why do you think it's not wise for him to do that, Oshay? If he has a problem, he feels his job to handle it the way he wants to handle it. Why you think he shouldn't do that? Do you know something we don't know there, Oshay? Huh? Do you now? Come on. Come on, tell us, Oshay. You done told us so much. Come on, Oshay. What do you know? What do you know? Now, family, Oshay, the pandering bootlicker himself, just asked a valid question. What do you think about the rhetoric and the commentary he just had in regards to Anton, the who? The puppet master Daniels himself. Now, I told you to pay attention to the storyline for a reason. Because not only is he a bootlicker, he's a wordsmith. You didn't get what just happened there? Oh no? Well, I'm going to tell you, family. He just basically turned that whole situation, took it, put it in a little box, put a lock on it, and threw it in the river. That's right. But before he threw it in the river, you know what he did? He spent the narrative. Oh yeah, he spent the narrative, family. He spent the narrative. Tis, tis, tis. All for who? The puppet master. But it's okay. That's why the Newsy Gang is on the job. Since our good old brother Oshay, the Simp Jackson, has become a pandering bootlicker extraordinaire, we gotta try to bring him back home. Come on back home, Oshay. Come on back home. Because right now, Weenie ain't eating. Ain't cool, my brother. Oh, yeah, I said that. I said it, family. Weenie eating. What that means? Basically, okay, you want me to rephrase it? You don't get what I mean? Okay, a Frank that eats weenies. A weenie eater. You get it now? Okay. Oshay, come on home, my brother. Because what you got going on right now, family, think about it. The whole tone of his voice during that whole reaction he did to Tony the Closer, Charleston White, and the Puppet Master even furthers my point of view. You think I'm lying? Go check another one of his videos. See if his tone ain't a little higher pitched when he's getting to it, when he's got some things to say. But for some reason, the puppet master escaped again. But guess what? We're here and we caught that rabbit and we grabbed him by the ears, family, and we pulled him out the hat. Oh, yeah, we did. We pulled that rabbit out the hat. And you know what we gonna do with that rabbit? Once we got him out the hat, we don't play no games with that rabbit. These cocksucking beanies, we're not playing with them. We play no games, boy. We be about killing. You see, family, I've come to realize something in his YouTube channels. He did say one thing that was absolutely right. You got to be careful in who you're dealing with in this content creation lifestyle. But you know what's even more important? You got to be careful to who you're listening to. You know why? They'll mess up your goddamn ears with that nonsense. This bootlicker, Oshay, I am disappointed in you. Disappointed. disappointed in you. You got tangled in the web. You let the puppet master take control of you. Why did you do it? Come on home, Oshay, please. Come on home. We need you to come home, my brother. Because you know what we searching for out here with the Newsy Gang?
What this show is about who is our friend and who is our enemy.
If you don't understand that, my brother, don't worry. You know why? TW Uncensored Reactions podcast is on the job, and I got the Newsy Gang with me, and we ain't come here to play no games. I said foot on next, and I meant it. We're not tolerating nothing from nobody no more. Don't you get it? Oshay Simp Jackson, pandering bootlicker, you weenie eater. Stop eating weenies. They're no good for you. Go get you some good for JJ and expand your mind. Sit down, think about it, write it down, and don't come back till you make it suspenseful. God damn it. And don't listen to the puppet master. Stop jacking the puppet master. Okay. Think it's a joke? You'll see. Don't worry.
Tick, tock, gun, shot.
Bang, bang, you're dead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You better believe it, you two weenie eaters. You and everybody, y'all all on deck, foot on next. And with that, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget, like, share, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your bell notification so you know when I leave my next bomb video, roasting somebody, rolling them up and smoking them like a good pack of Za, and or going live. Leave me a comment. Like I said, talk to me nicely. Best believe I talk back. With that said, you already know this. It's your boy TW. Yes, we are most definitely uncensored. After these messages, but first, don't forget that motto. 9 to 5, that's to make a living. But 5 to 9, that's to make a way of life. If you don't believe anything, you best to believe that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. After these messages, I will be right.
Bang, bang. Stand tall or lose it all, lose it all. So what you wanna do, huh? Stand tall on your feet or lose it all, lose it all. So what you wanna do, huh? Stand tall on your feet or lose it all, lose it all. So what you gonna do, huh? Stand tall or lose it all, stand tall or lose it all. For the world, I get to gunning like a gangster. This ain't no gangster movie, homie. This is real life, one of a kind. I'm not different, I'm a rare breed, top shelf, first in line.